then you're back in sin. We need the Holy Spirit, please let the chaplain in. Here at the front door, chilling with a childish grin. We can now begin. Now the truth be told, we're riding on the light to let the youth get old, and following the one that will soothe your soul and take your bad situation and improve your role to release your flow. It's a long stretch to loosen all the nooses from the baby's necks, and tell the young ladies they should save the sex, and tell the young guys not to break their neck for the place of sex, but get the paycheck. And real women really don't play that. A wise lesson learned really, really way back. I used to okay that. The Lord saved me, Jack, from a life of whack. Come on. Into the black light, exit the back. Oh, yeah. Into the black light, exit the back. You're a king. Yeah, you might want to start paying attention on this next verse. You're a king to me. Black light, exit. Give me your attention for a minute. Damn. We from the same cut, but play in different positions. A top secret message got the president's attention. Do what you do, just make the good folk listen. And trust me, yo, it's not about who you kissing. There is a plan to see you chewed up and shit out. The devil's burning red from the fire that we spit out. We only get up, the hell with that down low. Cherish the gift of the wisdom that we found, yo. Still on the mission with the daily agenda. Your head's been cloudy, so I doubt you to remember that I walk with the king of kings inside me. Just like the root in India, I read. I volunteer, know the Lord didn't hire me. It is the spirit that inspired me. Water of life to show the chief where the fire be. We have no time for those that be acting grimy. Yeah, I get it. You see the light now? Boy, I've been talking to y'all for a while. You see, you thought this was for like some type of game. Man, revolution. Yeah. When you free your mind, your ass will follow. That's for real. And some of y'all locked up so bad, don't nobody have to put chains on you. Hell, you chain yourself down mentally, spiritually. Come on, free your mind, dude. You a king. Free your mind, chick. You a queen.
Break it down, bro.
Corona eclipse crowning, illusion to Elysium. We are drowning. Lies and legal fictions bust. Only in my ancestors'
Damn.
All praises to the Most High.
I love it.
All praises to the great matriarch. Honor and respect to our ancestors. Jah, you've always had a father, the off of your flow. Was your fire starter, the cause of your glow. But the trail I've blazed, I pray you turn from it. The hell I've raised, I pray you don't burn from it. The work I put in, I pray that you earn from it. The mistakes I've made, I pray that you learn from it. You my splitting image, little darker, little taller. I'm a shot caller, though you just a little baller. Relative, I'm still teaching you like he my healing, reaching you despite me, lock and chain. Like you speaking true, you ignite lots of pain. I feel the releasing of lightning and drops of rain from the sound cloud. You shine like me, the crown's proud. But unlike me, shine you haven't turned down loud. A smoke screen which surrounds you, shrouds your sound. My shout allow your genius to astound the crowd. You my beloved, you scintillate profusely. You my beloved, you resent fate foolishly. You my beloved, do ventilate truthfully. You my beloved son, and who I'm well pleased. Okay, showing your vision is resplendent, my descendant when filming your intuition extends. The lizards felt when your cinematographic flashes of your scripted class get your inner magic. Dramatic action mixed with vivid aspects mastered surpasses the average glass, stretches the facet through the scope of life's Kodak you see classic. The question you have is mathematics, please ask it. Son, Earth's a classroom, so put your hand up. And last boom, you already knew the answer. I pray to God to give me another chance for the love of my life, my wife, just a romancer. In the misconception, no time for second guessing. It's destined you knew who was who through a reflection that she showed you of me many years ago. Special features presentation appears to show you my beloved. You scintillate profusely. You my beloved. You resent fate foolishly. You my beloved. Do ventilate truthfully. You my beloved son, and who I'm well pleased. Now Samuel, I am your found for show that the signal is a scramble or deprogrammable. From a look up to a lion, not of my bloodline. Don't give a damn, though love you as if you was mine. I'll be the first.
You're annoying, man.
Forgive me for my absence. The Most High sat me down to learn patience through abstinence. Amongst other lessons, perfect my craft and talents. Balance of our legacy in the Black Hawks talents. Face adversity, overcome all challenges. Generational wealth for the next generation to us. Can't make the same mistakes of past sisters dead. Let's create an after we grind relapses type of atmosphere. Redirect
I had to go load up
recalibrate
on my kung fu shoes.
propel us higher.
He hate these things,
and
they make a lot of noise.
I look at all three
A cat will hate you if you heard it. I had to get these from 1980. These are from 1982.
You my beloved.
No, these are from 1982, y'all.
You my beloved.
How's it going, beloveds? These are from 1982 on Halstead in Newark, New Jersey. These 1982, I wore these all through in the military. When I was in high school, these are the very second pair when I was studying Tai Chi Chuan, gang style. Matter of fact, the guy only had one arm who was teaching me down in Newark, New Jersey. I'd already studied, got a black belt in karate from Bloomfield and Shotokan karate. These, these are the other ones. Hold on. These, you would never know. It had a signature on it and it's washed off. Somebody in the Kung Fu movie, 36 Shaolin Chamber, 36 Chambers, Master Killer, Gordon Liu. These were signed by him, and I had one of the worst markers, designer markers in the world. Chinese made, not a real American designer marker. And I had him signed. He signed Gordon Liu on both sides. GL, G, Gordon, and L, L-I-U. Gordon Liu. Yeah. because these are rubber bottoms, I washed them twice. And I was told even these I shouldn't, because the other ones I didn't wash since 1982.
I know.
Just because I studied Wudang. I studied Wudang, a mountain form of mantis kung fu for good for exercising. So this with the white legging things and all that, I don't wear those, but you know. And then these, these were a gift. As you can see, I still have Charisma's hair on them. My service dog that passed away about 4.5 years ago, 5 years almost, 4.5 years ago. I'm not going to ever, I never watched these. This is from the Linda Lee, Bruce Lee, Brandon Lee Foundation. Anyway, on with the reading, I guess. And y'all, yes, I was going to eat and finish eating before I started anything, goddamn. Come back up here, you want to get one of these? Arab style. He's already looking at me like this. Because I only gave him one of the I gave him the chicken one. He likes the chicken one. He likes the tuna very much, and so what I do is I do this, and he hauls ass. It's not scaring him. It's like if you put a cucumber behind him, whatever. And that's when he wants to play, like challenge play. You're not scratching me up right now. Later on, we'll play where I let him get a little rough. You got to, man. If you don't let that cat be able to get a little rough and go, so you know, so he knows. Now I let him bite and scratch and everything. But when don't feel like being bothered, you have to let them know, because you'll be walking and they'll attack you. Trust me. For those who have cats, you know what I'm talking about. One cat by itself. If you have two, every once in a while you're going to see a scuff. Okay? All right, remember that. I think I'm lying. And my cat, Alexander's smart as hell. But remember, my little brother comes from a feral mother and feral father. So those memories are in him. Okay? So you have to take that. If you rescue a cat, all that memory, anything that happened with the mommy and the puppy, even being abandoned, is with him. So you got to take all that. It comes with, it's the package. It's a package deal. You dig what I'm saying? All right, let's take that off. It's humid in here. I got humidifier here, humidifier in there, humidifier down there, all going because I want the humidity. But it's like 70 degrees in here. So anyway. This right here is it looks like an orange. It's a grapefruit. They call it blood orange, but it's a grapefruit. I like these because these are grown by a person I know, and they're natural. This is not that big commercial shit. That's not what a grapefruit used to look at. Let's look just like an orange on a big lemon. It was real glumpy and stuff. So he grows like the original kind of grapefruit, and it's delicious. It's absolutely sweet, but it's not the sweet, sugary kind of sweet. It's a different sweet when you get used to, like, if you get used to moringa and chloria and kelp, seaweed, and stuff like that, you know there's a different form of sweet, and it's not what you like corn syrup, high fructose corn, and that's a conditioning from our childhood. You dig what I'm saying? And so that was butternut squash and spinach and semolina pasta, like no flour. And I use my own Himalayan salt when I season the water with olive oil, and I use vegetable broth. No, I still eat fish. I'm not eating no beef, no chicken. Y'all saw me. I show you what happens when you eat that meat. But that meat that I was eating, the beef at least, was from the rest. So that's different. I can eat that all the time. But that pork and that chicken y'all eating, y'all better have them as pets. Pork is better than damn chicken, and pork is definitely better than beef, but all of them have worms. I don't give a goddamn. They all have parasites, worms, and besides being full of all the stuff they're shooting it up with, just research it. And it would discourage you from going to these sorry, worthless ass restaurants serving you all that GMO and all that unhealthy stuff and good. Or keep eating it and never elevating yourself, okay? Somebody asked me something, and so for her, these were a gift to me because I had showed somebody how to do something. And I'm going to pull one out, and I'm not going to tell you where I got it from. I can't. They're not hard to make either. I got molds. But I'll get rid of those. I don't need those anymore. I've learned other ways. And the black ones. So what I do is I'll take this and I'll melt it down and add my hair to it. Okay? Or I can't tell you on here. There's other ways. But when they say the light flickers in the dark, the light flickers in the light too. The problem is it standalone? Is it standoffish? Or is it a bringer? There are those who know, and there are those who don't. And you're listening to a lot of them who don't. That's all I can say. Yes, so hon, that's the real. As far as those who work outside of themselves, I don't need it. I showed her, and 2 years later, everybody was afraid of her. And I said, you're not supposed to do that. So I took it back. And then she comes, I'm apologizing. Oh, nope. You have the Ket people do a lot of weird stuff that they think is powerful, and it's deviation. It's a perversion. And their medicine men aren't medicine men. They're BS personnel. And anyone who takes a payment, there's something wrong with you. So I just wanted to let her see if she decides to look. All right. So let's go ahead and get into reading. Let me raise up my seat a little bit. This is my beach chair. Don't get it twisted. And yes, it goes. I have 3 of them, but this one goes with me up here. I love to sit here and read, kick my legs up like this. I'm going to show y'all how I do it, because some of y'all really don't know. This is what I do at night. I put the red light on with the fire and the burner, you know what I'm saying? And I get right here. And I'll be like this for 3 hours. Then I take a break. I go get some juice or something. Come right back. Practice it. Then I get down and do 20 push-ups. I'm serious. I'm not lying. Anyway, let's go ahead and let's turn this off. Let's go ahead and get this. Exposing the Expositions. I'm going to shout you guys out before I read. Exposing the Expositions of 1851-1915. This is Heidi Mikowski's revised edition. It's 2021 from its 2019. If you purchased 2019, please speak on it right here. I don't like it. I have it. You will never see me read it. That's why when I was glad when this came out, I got notified and I got it before I even read anything. Okay? Cordobana, Shilagua. Okay? We got, let me go to the top. Delusions of Humanity. What's up, Gotcha? There's my baby girl, Snoo. Yes, y'all. Yes, that's right. Richard Nobeg. Peace. What's going on, beloved? What's happening? Rondo, I got you already, beloved. Yes. Marcus Williams. Big Dog Philly. OG, what's cracking? Snoo. All right. Golden Cougar. What's going on, brother? My apologies. I actually cleared it up, I hope. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but anywho, mad respect, mad love, brother. Tarek Peters, a.k.a. Hey, what's going on, fam? What's going on? Mikey Cox. Yeah, I got everybody. Appreciate Herbo. Definitely, you already. So let's go ahead and get to the reading. I want to keep it short again. Heaven Bearers, I want to read a little more. Not about the same. But as far as Exposing the Expositions, I want to actually keep reading this, because when I get halfway, I'm going to introduce another book that's going to bring more enlightenment to a lot of things if you're in Georgia, if you're in Louisiana, if you're in Texas. Oh, Texas got so much stuff. They don't even know it. We got brothers down there going, I don't even know. I'm like, yo. Mississippi, yes. You in the Carolinas, where most of my family is at, and Louisiana, like most of my family. And if you're in Costa Rica, there's a lot. That's why I'm just like, come here. There are a lot of things in Costa Rica, a lot of stuff destroyed. But the coastline, a lot of it's underwater. And I think if he was here, he can give you that. There was a grand in Costa Rica, because like I said, I got relatives. You know, Danny Farrell, I got spent. Yes. All right, he don't call, you call him Spanish, my cousin Nanny Ferrero, you call him Spanish, he'll beat your ass. There's nothing in his family. Everybody, all the pictures, all my half, we say half, but we're family. Uncles and stuff like that. His uncles all dark. And me and him, my Uncle Reggie, my brother Reg, there's a handful of us, we came out a little lighter shade than everybody else. But you could see in us, you know what I'm saying? And you could see like the very dark ones are very Asian, like, or, you know, like black, like dark, you know what I'm saying? But we all, anyway, there was a grand shipping lane. There was not shipping lane, but a port that's underwater from what I'm going to research it more because I want to do something on that. There's a lot of places around there where these ships were coming, and they weren't wooden ships. It was still ships, and that's how they were evading down there. Well, that's another time. Let's go ahead and get into the reading. Appreciate y'all taking the time to listen to my crazy. I have to do more research on it because it's not fluid. I like to research everywhere, and whenever I come across something else, I research it because the world that you exist in is a complete fabrication, a lie. And what's the relationship between the Jew and the Negro? The Jew is the lie. The so-called Negro is not dead. He is the living embodiment of all things of this world, this earth. He is the reason why everybody exists. I don't care how you feel, or what you think, or what you believe. And that's a fact. Anyway, let's go ahead and hit it up. Make sure we timed it up. Okay, yeah, here we go. So last time we were talking about, as far as the emphasis on sicknesses caused by the low, swampy sites and all that kind of stuff. But we're talking about Bancroft, another one. If y'all look at him, even when he was in England or France or Marseille or whatever, he's just part of that fake Masonic to hide the secret. One of those Gajar people, right? The invisible thing about the place was the mud, right? To accomplish this task, the streets were filled in. They were filled in. There's no way in the world he could have built this structure that we know as far as what they were stating in 1858, okay? As far as the 70 foot, the 750 tons, 600, moving a building, lifting it up with jacks and moving it. It was impossible. They didn't have, it doesn't matter what they drew, because that's all, there's no real pictures. And if you go to the website that you can just go to Wikipedia, Raising Chicago, all right? Just go to Wikipedia and put in Raising Chicago. Just like put Raising Chicago, okay? And you'll see what I'm talking about, all right? So let's go and take it from there, all right? Okay, either this is a work that rivals building the Giza pyramids, or this is just a giant fairy tale. I do not see an in-between with this. We are to accept that an entire city was built on a swamp with giant buildings that would require massive foundations, only to realize they were built on a swamp that needed to be raised. In fact, the streets as well, all while diverting the river and building new canals. Does anyone really believe this? And this is just lies that you can hear when they talk right now. You can hear even the melanated ones who do their bidding. Joy Reid, the one who went to Harvard, right? The news, nutcases. There's madness. So it's not about colors. It's the will of them are so perverted. But one would say, well, how did it become so perverted? You don't want to know, okay? It's not. You don't need to know. They made a deal with the devil. So if they're the synagogue of Satan, which doesn't mean an ugly or beautiful thing, it's a label, okay? That should speak volumes, all right? So making a devil with like George Levine and all those people, that's the devil you make a deal with. And if you make a deal with Diddy, you make it with the very same people, because you better believe they ran up in him. Or there's a group of them. There's plenty of them. All right? Sick. Okay. Anyway. Think of trying to do that today. It would be a major undertaking that might not be possible, even with all of our modern machinery. Yet Chicago could do this in 1858. Again, go ask your local building contractor to raise up, say, a small city like South Bend, Indiana, population 100,000. See what they'll tell you, and they'll be like, from what to do? Tell you what to do. And do you have 50 years and $2 billion is what they'll express, because that's what they've stated. I'm serious. Do you have 50 years and $2 billion? But they want you to believe the world that they were destroying, these same bastards, just like the same little goofy monkey that ran and blew down that little thing that should have never been sitting in Georgia. That's why I have no respect for Negroes in Georgia. That thing they call the guy stones. All you Negroes is weak, cowardly, you don't stand together. And the same thing for a lot of you in California, you pussies, and Virginia too. I'm calling you that right now. Either get out of that state if you ain't that, or stay right there and circumvent because you're a coward. I have only found 2 photographs of this work being done, and mostly all that exists of it are only poorly made drawings. Some people might feel some kind of way. I'm going to be the one to pull your shirt tail. I'm going to challenge you, because right now it's what a lot of you are going to die anyway. You're pussies. Only poorly made drawings. They had photography at this time. There were a lot of photographs from the 1850s available. Now, floods in California, check this out. Floods in California and Civil War dead were photographed. Makes you think, right? Would not something like this, something that had never been ever been attempted in human history, not warrant interest for a couple of photographs? Because it's all a lie. One of the only photographs I could find on it can be found here. Now, in the footnote, I want y'all, if y'all choose to, I'm going to read it out. I know you're not going to write it down. I don't know why I'm doing this, but it might be one of you who might write this down. Because I believe if you would have wrote down the other one, a lot of you would be in here saying, bruh, what I found. But I know you didn't. But I'm going to read this one. Let's see if any of you challenge yourselves. You're probably sitting at your fake-ass slave job. Instead of picking up a pen and paper, you won't write this down, I bet. But for those who do, you're wise. You're wise beyond the fake stars. So that means you're part of the reality, not the situation or the implication that's made you a symptom in retrograde instead of progress. We need to be progressive. We need to ascend. Check this out. As far as Bancroft, https : / whatever those, I forget what they call them. Anyway, so www.Classic Chicago Magazine. Classic Chicago Magazine, one word, .com / moving dash, no space, buildings dash with dash George dash Pullman / Again, I'm going to repeat it. https : semicolon, whatever the fuck those things, I forget what those are. Anyway, / www.Classic Chicago Magazine. Classic, you might be able to put in Classic Chicago Magazine and see what comes up. But other than that, .com / moving dash building dash with dash George dash Pullman / Okay? Take the time and look it up, please. You know, like, you be talking and beating us up. Or am I beating you up? Or maybe I'm beating up the people who need the beating up because that's what you access and see. Instead of realizing that maybe it might not be you, it might be just to drag the lower absconder, the drama-filled, the effeminate male, the too overly masculine woman, drag them in position because they feel some kind of way and they believe in some bull s. So if I am saying it and it bothers you, then I've got the target. One more chapter and then we go into the next book. As you can see, it is, welcome all the new subscribers. Don't take this personal, okay? We got to have the strong, and I'm inviting the weak. And when I say that, I'm talking about up here and gut instinct. It's not a real attack. So I need to inform them to that. Yet we need to eradicate those fake feelings and emotions that drive people. That is not what's supposed to drive you. Matter of fact, nothing's supposed to drive you. You're supposed to drive the world. Okay. As you can see, it is basically the same view as the drawing presented on the previous page. Now, I'm going to show that picture again. I'm going to hold it up. I'm waiting for when Rondo gets here. He's going to help me do some things where I can go back in because the stuff that I got is pathetic. I paid a few dollars. I ended it to let me go in. I'm not using that big mixer and all that crap. You can do it on your laptop. You can do it on your phone. You can do all that stuff on your tablets. You can. And I've seen friends do it. So anyway, this is the picture that they drew. If these people ain't so full of shit. The same thing they told you about the pyramids. The pyramids weren't built like that. Okay? So again, no, seriously, they weren't. So as you can see, it is basically the same view as the drawing presented on the previous page. The drawing may, in fact, have been created directly from this photo. Yet they are totally dissimilar. The drawing has it made out like hundreds of jacks are lifting the buildings off a very flat and level street ground. But in the original photograph, I see nothing being raised on no jacks. Instead, it seems like the building has been dug out and they are trying to lay a foundation of some type beneath it. What can only be described as a pile of dirt is next to it. But that could have also been a sinkhole, now filled in, that they try to keep the building from falling into. And that would make you think about the Leaning Tower of Pisa, right? That's just ridiculous. And the business kept going on. It's just pure insanity. Okay? It's pure insanity. And the thing that's mind-boggling is back then they actually believed that this would last. I don't know, y'all. I don't know what to say. To think back then, that's how bold they were. And yet we were still fighting. Are y'all aware of that? 1800s, we were still fighting all the way up until the early 1900s. Seminole, the Chickasaw, y'all don't know history, do you? Okay. Even with the wars going on, there was still a war against us. FDR, Spanish Civil War wasn't no Spanish. Yeah, it was Spain and them fake new motherfuckers fighting. Yeah, y'all better go. Excuse my language. Y'all better go and learn something and stop listening to all the nonsense and the lies. Being a reprobate mind. All right. I'm not gonna sit here and break all that down. I got to take this copper. Excuse me. Heaven Bearers, The Great Reset of 1834 and the Mud Flood by Janine Helen. There she is, of course, the bigger picture on her Instagram account, I believe it is. Okay. So the individuals in here that we're reading about, the bad ones, so that's the reason why I was reading that, because I knew I was going to come back to this, and we're going to go back into the Gods of Eden, the Hatter Matters, Enki, Enlil, all that, the custodians. All right, because you got to remember, like when they talk about in Genesis. Well, anyway, there's certain stories in the Apocrypha. I'm going to highlight those, and we're going to discuss them. But when it's talking about who they saw, when you think about the spinning wheel with the animal-like eye, with the, and the fiery disc, the vehicles, the behemoth, you know what I'm saying? We'll get into that, okay? We had the same type of stuff. Like I said, the moon is not riddled because of some friggin' meteorite strikes. It's riddled because we blew it, we tore it the fuck up. There was something on it that shouldn't have been there. You don't have to believe me. It is what it is. Anyway, let's go ahead and pick it up. All right. She glances towards Barnabas and his mother. Now, you got to remember, she just went and fricasseed the bad people that came to do her in because Azrael so sent them. And Malcolm was worried, yet he was kind of sure she could take care of herself. He was too busy trying to deal with why Rune committed suicide after a certain friend of his committed murder, but he also has to go and deal with the other Phoenicians, the other half-breeds who still work with him. He has to put them to death. So let's see what takes place from here. She glances towards Barnabas and his mother. They are huddled in the corner with their heads covered because they betrayed her and are alive and well. Not Barnabas, but Keno, on the other hand, that's the one that betrayed her. He is standing in the same spot he was in when the men first entered. His eyes are completely white, and she can see her reflection in them. Mother Nature has punished him for his betrayal, and he was Tartarian. Sounds familiar? and he shall never lay his eyes upon anything again. Mother Nature did that. Bonnie walks up to him and puts her hand gently onto the side of his face. You will find peace soon. Her thumbs trace down his cheek gently, and his skin is soft, but leathery. Take care, Janae, and thank you for your help, she says as she grabs a piece of bread off the floor and sets out to continue her long and dreaded journey. Malcolm has had his hands full on the other side of the earth. Samira refuses to consent to putting just over 1,000 of her Phoenicians to death. She's a proud and an unreasonable woman, and this is precisely why Azrael is so fond of her. Malcolm knows he needs to pack his bags and make the long journey over to Asia to try and convince Samira that the decision has already been made for her and that she doesn't actually have any say in the matter. Azrael has the final say. He is their unelected leader, and no one has ever questioned this. He arrives in Asia and arranges to meet with her in Hong Kong. Immediately upon his arrival, the day isn't warm, but the sun is shining bright, and he knows the day will end bitterly. He waits for a horse-drawn carriage to pass him, and he walks towards the town square. He can see her standing by the majestic fountain in the middle of the square and approaches her carefully. You see this half-man, half-fish being? She asks as he walks up behind her, and she points to the statue in the middle of the fountain. The Tartarians that live here claim that he would stroll around the town square late at night and bless the water. He did this out the goodness of his heart, apparently to make sure that anyone who had any pain, sickness, or ailment would take a sip and be forever healed. She spits into the water and laughs. Her voice reminds him of that shrieking owl that would wake Bonnie up in the middle of the night back home, and he cringes slightly. She is wearing a bright red dress, and the hem is covered in mud. There is a small tear on the side of her dress, and he can't help but wonder what she has been doing that morning. They are all so pathetic, don't you think, Malcolm? She turns around to face him, and her eyes are as black as the night sky in midwinter. She licks her lips, and her eyes search his body. She looks him over thoroughly. I forgot how handsome you are. The prodigal son of Azrael the Great. She mocks him and gives him a teasing wink. I am not putting my people to death. You tell him that and leave my city at once, she orders him sternly. Samira, we both know I am not leaving. Azrael won't accept that. He takes a cautious steps closer. We need to resolve the problem here and now. Why? She interrupts him and plays with the water. We already dealt with the deformed babies, a sacrifice to the fish god. Her tone is proud and sarcastic. She turns around and walks up to him, gives him a greedy smooch, and whispers into his ear, "What exactly are you planning on doing about it?" She looks into his eyes, and he can't keep her out of his head. There is no mind Samira can't read. This is her particular talent, and he knows that she knows everything. How sweet. The prodigal son fell in love with a Tartarian. She begins to laugh uncontrollably and places her hand on her chest as if she needs to catch her breath. But she is just mocking him. She is never serious, mind you, and everything is a game to her. Sounds familiar? A sick game. Goyim, huh? Figure out another way to deal with this with my little problem, or I will tell him. She threatens him firmly and skips back towards the fountain like a little girl. Malcolm doesn't say anything more and leaves the town square feeling defeated. He orders his men to round up the genetically impure Phoenician Phoenician men and knows he will need to channel Azrael's power in order to finish the task. He stands upright with his hands firmly by his side. At the entrance of an empty warehouse, it is just outside of the big city, Anyway, and he feels like a dictator at this point. He explains why this needs to happen to the 1,081 Phoenician men, standing neat rows in front of him, and he has no emotions, nor do they. Your sacrifice is appreciated, and Mother Nature thanks you for your contributions. The heaven bearers, your creator, Samira, thank you for your service, but you are defective, and perfection is expected. Samira, all of a sudden, unexpectedly, appears next to him with a cheeky smile on her face, and she leans in to lick the side of his face. I warned you, Malcolm, she scoffs softly, and she has a sadistic aurora around her. She stares at the ornamental dagger. She stares at the ornamental dagger hanging on the wall and blinks at it. It flies off the wall where it was mounted and flies towards Malcolm, directly for his heart. Just as it is about to reach him, it changes direction and heads in the direction of the Phoenicians, lined up patiently and waiting to die. One by one, they drop to the floor and turn to dust as the dagger punctures each one in the heart quickly and painlessly. Samira loses the cheeky smile on her face, drops to knees, and screams out in anger, Azrael! No! Her voice echoes throughout the entire warehouse and bounces back off the walls. It takes no more than 5 minutes and all the Phoenicians are dead. 1,000 and how many? No more than 5 minutes and all the Phoenicians are dead, and their souls drift up to the canopy, where they will find everlasting peace. Now Malcolm waits for the last man to drop to the floor and turn to dust. He takes a good look around to make sure the space is empty, turns around swiftly, and prepares to take the long trip back home. His job here is done. God damn, boy. This ain't nothing, man. It's gonna get, for those who went back, I know you all too lazy to, I know y'all not doing it, but if you would have went back and listened to the reading before, I don't think in the last reading I was as dramatical, but you know what's about to come to. But I'm going to incorporate, like I said, when I get to the middle of that, I'm going to incorporate books that fundamentally bring this more puzzle pieces for you to look at and question the reality of the situation. Am I saying look outside of everything that's here? Oh, hell yeah. I damn sure am. Okay? So anyway, we're at 45 minutes. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to shout out anybody else that came in. And I respect everybody. Again, I'm not going to check donations until Thursday. So if you're donating, Thursday come along, I'll look. So Friday, it'll determine whether I'm going to order the rest of those books or I'll wait a little longer. Okay? And I'm going to finish my little red or orange or grape or whatever you want to call it. All right? So we got Rondo, Golden Cougar. That's how weak they are. Yeah, a whole lot. Plus the test tube babies. Not galvanized, exactly. Okay, beloved, I appreciate it. Poppy D, what's going on, beloved? Oh, you're, I love that. I'm in the know. Yo, speak on it. Y'all already know what's beloved. Y'all already know. Michael Westons, I got you, beloved. It's good to have y'all here. I hope y'all appreciate that read and share it. Share it. I hope it wasn't too much foul language, right? Hopefully you can let your young ones listen. And it's going to get, and you can go back because I'm gonna keep putting that same Heaven's Bearer with the, that exposition 1850. That's I'm gonna keep putting that up, that collage. So that way you can always, if you want to go back and you want to bypass everything else, you can go right to that and you can listen. All right. And I appreciate it. And sometimes I don't, but I'm always going to attempt to give it a little bit of tea. All right. Because you got to one up and better. You got to better yourself. If you're drinking, stop. No 12A. None of that's required. That is conditioning to allow you to not fight your true fight. And it's not an incredible fight. It is more simpler. It is easier than you can even imagine. If you're smoking their poison, go ahead and get you some heirloom tobacco seeds, germinate them, and grow your own tobacco in a small greenhouse for $75 you can get off of Amazon, right in your house. Grow you 2 tobacco plants, get you 2 lights. I forget the wattage, and you can grow your little weed. Here in Arizona, I can grow 6 weed plants. I got the weed seeds and everything. I'm just not doing it right now. I'm going to wait till I get where I need to be at. And then we can have a greenhouse 6 feet underground, rooftop and everything, covered like a what you call roof cellar with the lights. You know, we could take CDs. That's why I'm saving my CDs. You can make a solar panel with that and copper wires. Load up on the things you need. Prep now. If you don't have a solder, if you don't have solar panels, you don't know how to make them. Excuse me. It's not complicated. Okay? Excuse me. I want to make sure I did say hi to everybody, right? Greetings, not hi. Excuse me. And with that being said, I'm off until later, and then we'll get back into the Negro Project, Margaret Sanger, and William Cooper, Behold a Pale Horse. All right? Don't worry. I actually just recorded yesterday evening, and this morning I did a real small, like 15-minute. The King James Immunology, I'm actually doing a series of recordings. I have so much space now that I got so much rid of so much crap that I just never even utilize. I'm like, I got 6 of them. I will be uploading. The other one didn't upload, so I got pissed off and went, chatted with them. What are y'all doing? Blah, blah, blah. So I will upload them, and they'll be serious because it's important for you to have a clearer understanding. Everything isn't what it seems to be. And yes, you are under a spell. Ignorant as it may be, it's still a spell. Okay? And you can dispel a spell by doing opposite. And opposite don't mean because you're doing good. If you're doing good, you stay there. There's other things. Don't mean you start doing bad. Like, be smarter than that. All right? I appreciate y'all. That's right. I had this made a couple of years ago. Thou shalt not throw hands. Throw shade if thou cannot throw hands. Nigalations, you know what I'm saying. All right? So I'll get with y'all in a few hours. Nothing but love and respect. And the brothers, you already, well, supposed to be at eye level. And I'll see y'all here in about 3 hours. No. And you know what? We don't give that energy, though. Don't say that. They'll wake up. That's what you say. They'll snap out of it. They'll start to see. So when you say that, that's what will happen. Okay? Be mindful. When you debate, when you say things, when you state things, you're stuck in a reprobative mind. You must allude to otherwise. You have to. Forget what you want. There's a need. It's a necessary need. Just like there's a necessary evil. But is there a necessary evil? How about the fact we remove the Jannah? There's a necessary Hawa, a breath, a life. Okay? See y'all in 3 hours.